trigger warning, misgendering, and transphobia.
Okay. Good to know.
Good to know, yeah. Am I the asshole for implying to my dad's neighbor that he's senile to avoid being randomly outed?
You told me about this one.
Yeah. I, 26 male, am a transgender man. I've been out since I was 16 and started medically transitioning at 19. I'm pretty burly and I have a beard, so at this point no one would have any reason to think I'm trans unless I tell them. My dad, 67 male's perspective on this is basically, I won't argue with you about it, but I'm also not going to change the way I refer to you.
Okay.
If I directly call him out on it, he just awkwardly waffles and dismisses it. It's annoying, but I can live with it, especially because the rest of my family is largely supportive and try to maintain a relationship with them while not interacting with my dad would be difficult and frustrating for everyone involved.
Okay.
I was visiting a couple of days ago, and my dad and I bumped into his neighbor from a few doors down and ended up in a conversation about a tree that had fallen down in the street. My dad introduced me to his neighbor with, "This is my daughter, old name."
Wow.
Not really wanting to have to explain to this random stranger that I'm trans, I just said, "No, Dad, I'm name your son, remember?" in a concerned/pitying tone of voice, then sort of looked at the neighbor with a sad expression. But awesome. Honestly, that's a
You're
good.
so cool for that, dude. You're so
This is a cool
I
motherfucker.
really endorse this behavior.
Yeah. My dad, as usual, just awkwardly dismissed it and tried to continue the conversation without acknowledging it. The neighbor sort of did a, gotcha expression. And for the rest of the conversation, he spoke slower to my dad. Approved.
Approved.
This is bro approved right
This
here.
is bro approved.
This is-
APWSTR approved.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Later, my dad told me he didn't like that. I'd made his
I
neighbor
don't like it
think
when
he
you
was
misgender
senile.
me, fucker.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Because he might have conversations with him in the future and would have to spend those conversations being treated like he's in the early stages of dementia.
Yeah.
For my part, I think he invites it by referring to a guy no one would suspect is trans as a woman. Not that I think he should refer to any trans person as their birth sex. And it was only a matter of time before someone thought he was nuts. I also feel that I had the right to keep it private that I'm trans to this stranger. My dad can feel free to explain the situation to him later, but in the moment I didn't want to potentially have to get stuck in a conversation defending my identity as a trans person to him.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole?
No. You're
no.
actually the coolest person
And someone
ever.
someone made a good point too that like the consequences of him being senile is way easier than the consequences of someone realizing you're trans and maybe being like a transphobe or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because you know people are fucking crazy about that.
No,
shit.
they're
Yeah,
super
like,
violent. Yeah. It's fucked up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a great point, and it's so awesome. And I think we've mentioned pretending that your parents are senile. I think there was one listener story we did where it was like a person that their parents are always telling them to quote unquote just buy a house.
Oh yeah.
And we told them to just gaslight, girl boss, gatekeep.
Yeah, the thing where you
Just
you
emotionally
just send,
manipulate their dad.
You send the
send like nursing
home things, yeah.
brochures in the mail.
Honestly, you gotta add that onto it.
You gotta do it. You have to.
Listen, 67
every single time, escalate a little bit.
Yeah, this is if it's getting
quote unquote ruin your relationship with your father.
And like also, like the fact that like the rest of your family is like understanding, but this guy isn't. We gotta single him out and make him fucking.
Well, and also like no one else is telling him, "Hey, come on." This is
that's
hurting
a little weird. Yeah,
your son.
I maybe that's not written, I guess, but yeah,
it's a little bit me projecting, but I mean, I get what you mean, and also they make a really good point. Sorry, he makes a really good point in the post that he's like, I don't want to fucking tell people I'm trans. I shouldn't have to.
Yeah,
it's truly, it is really fucked up that something so personal we've made it so that trans people have to like
explain themselves every time they meet a new person. Like, no.
Like I saw a TikTok that was like this trans non-binary person was getting carded, and they gave them their I don't remember their pronouns, so unfortunately they gave them their ID because they were getting carded, and the person thought that they had a fake ID because they looked different on their ID because they hadn't updated it yet. And then essentially it made the trans non-binary person say, I'm trans non-binary. Like they had to out themselves.
Yeah.
And then the person still didn't believe them.
Jesus.
And it's just like, that's fucked up, man.
That's the other thing too, is like when those laws were coming up, and I think this was in Florida specifically, where like they were specifying that like, no, it has to be the birth sex on your license or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So that if they pull you over, they could criminally jail you because they see a discrepancy with your license plate.
Yeah.
And also it's kind of like, if you have to put that you're trans or something on your license plate, they're essentially making a list of trans people.
Yeah, exactly. It's
which
like,
is not cool.
Good. Yeah.
Very scary.
A marginalized group of people being put on a list. That never ends well.
Yeah, no.
God.
It's fucked up, man.
No, for sure.
It's, when we talk about Palestinian genocide and the genocide happening in Congo, Sudan, Ukraine, someone mentioned Ukraine in our last.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. All of these different places, there are multiple genocides. I feel like I learn more about genocide every day. Also, yeah, Black Americans, trans Americans, that shit is, people that are disabled that are, have like immunocompromised with COVID.
God, man.
It's really fucked up. Our society is really like, we just don't care about each other.
No.
And we keep fucking passing laws that are just like, I don't give a shit about you and I don't give a shit about this. I'm just going to continue with whatever agenda I have.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Christ, man. Ridiculous.
So that's an awesome way to deal with.
Honestly, yeah, make your fucking dad seem senile, because he is.
Honestly, even if you have like a fucking like your mom is like 30, as long as you're not living with her and she doesn't like, control where you live or your food or whatever.
You deserve respect.
You deserve respect. You could at least just pretend that she's got like early onset dementia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Solved it, dude.
Just gaslight her. Just be like, yo, dog, like, you don't remember? Really?
Because what they're doing is gaslighting you about your identity. So fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think cards on the table. Let's fucking,
It's cool as fuck.
Suns out, guns out. Let's go.
Suns out, guns out. Jesus.
God. But yeah, that was good one. Good simple one,
Good.
Why is everything gonna be so gosh dang difficult? That didn't make any. Let me say that again. Why is everything so gosh dang difficult? That's what I meant to say.
Why is everything so josh dang difficult?